Georgia's heating up. They currently sit at number 7 overall in the On3 industry team rankings. And over the weekend, they hosted several more top targets, Steve. It sounds like you expect Georgia to sign a bunch of these guys. You put in a new prediction for the number 1 linebacker in America, Zayden Walker, and offensive tackle Nick Brooks. Walk us through those picks.
Well, Zayden Walker, we've been talking about Georgia's position at the top of his recruitment for quite some time now. Now, he's given a good look to South Carolina and Miami and programs like that, has had Penn State as one of his finalists. But Georgia's been setting the bar in this recruitment because of the way that they produce linebackers, the way that they get them to the first round, his relationship with Glenn Schumann and company. Georgia checks all the boxes for Zayden Walker. And coming out of this official visit, I think the Bulldogs are the one to beat. And we'll see if he jumps in the class soon. Kirby Smart and company, they want to get commitments from these official visits sooner rather than later. They want this class done going into the season. I like where they stand with Zayden Walker. Nick Brooks has been to campus a few times now. I felt Georgia was the one to beat, but talking to some sources that spent time with him this weekend, they've doubled down on that. And so with that, my On3 RPM reflects that.
All right. Now, who else do you feel Georgia made up some ground on or is making up ground on?
Well, I think the next On3 RPM I could make in favor of Georgia is for Laganza Shady Hayward, the in-state safety. Tennessee has been the one to beat for quite some time now, but Georgia getting them back to campus. It was a terrific official visit. He gave it high marks, called it a business trip, and talking to some sources that spent time with him, they also think Georgia's in the driver's seat right now. So it looks like Tennessee will have to flip it back if they want to land one of their top targets because the momentum is with Georgia.
Now let's talk about those USC Trojan commitments that were on campus. We're talking 5-star defensive lineman Justice Terry, 5-star edge Isaiah Gibson. You liked where Georgia sat heading into these visits. Did anything happen this weekend and change your mind?
Well, I still think that Georgia has a good chance to land both of them. Justice Terry, 5-star defensive tackle, heard him and his mother. Had a fantastic time at Georgia. I think that one's still trending correctly for Georgia to get him back in the fold. Isaiah Gibson, it's easy to just assume that he'll ultimately end up at Georgia. We thought that before he committed to USC. I think it's going to be hard for USC to keep him in the class. But Georgia, they got some serious competition. You got Tennessee, Auburn, South Carolina, and Oklahoma in the mix here. And as you have these exit meetings on Sundays where you talk about things like NIL, recruitments get a little murkier. So we'll see if Georgia can get it done. They check a lot of boxes for Isaiah Gibson, but he's expected to continue through his process now. And we'll see what that means for Georgia down the road.
Yeah, Georgia sits at number 7 overall, but if they land a couple of these guys that you put in picks for, they are going to be rising up the ranks. So Dog fans, talk to me. Comment section below. How do you feel about Georgia's first big official visit weekend? Not the last, but definitely the first. There's some guys that could end up in this class. Let me know. Comment section below.